Oh, thank you. And you will try your best to put your best foot forward for them to help them, but you won't be like giving of yourself without care about yourself. You won't be one of those people who gives everything to others just because they look like they need it. A good way to put it is right here. If I can draw a decent circle. Not one of my strongest suits.
Me either.
You are the father figure of those around you, protecting everyone you can. And I don't mean like an abusive father. I mean like that father you all wanted as a kid. The one who stands beside you, protects you, teaches you.
I'm
Yes, they
listening to
let you
something.
fall, but they'll help you stand back up and try again. There, that is what you are. I'm sure everyone has met someone like that. The person that you kind of wish was your father, even if it wasn't. And like it says here at the bottom, it exists in all, regardless of gender. So while I will be talking as if this person is a man, it could just as easily be a female, be a cat. It's just I will be using the he because it's the divine masculine. But it's a person who is following their divine path. They will not care what others say about them, as they are confident in who they are. They will protect others around them, not because they need to, not because it's their job, but because they want to and they can. It's like, I'm here. This person needs help. I'm helping them. Now, we've all had experiences with divine masculine, and mom, you will tell me if there are any questions because she's in charge of comments.
I am checking the the comments as we go.
Okay, like I said earlier, I was not born with a fail. So, as a child, I was confused about why mom had ignored my friends. Well, they were dead children. She couldn't see them. I didn't know she couldn't see them. I was what, 7-ish, if
Yes,
not younger.
even younger. It was about 7 or 8, I think, that we figured out what was going on with you and why you kept getting upset with us.
And it was about the age 10 that I finally figured out how to create a veil. But that just shows you that no one here is perfect. And the divine masculine is not about being perfect. After all, part of the human experience is making mistakes. Now, for the one, no one I would wish I could ignore, but everyone needs to see the core traits of toxic masculinity. which hilariously boils down to one trait, this trait, emotional suppression. And that can be boiled down to this. A man must always be strong and are not allowed to be weak. So they bundle up all their emotions, not allowing themselves to feel. They cope with their emotions maybe through wine or beer or alcohol or aggression. Strength is everything. Power's everything. Because they are not allowed to feel. Anything girly is not allowed. And or and that means that when their emotions pop out, it's uncontrolled anger, aggression, fear, sorrow. It all bumbles out. And fight or flight, because they can't be weak, it's fight. That's why they're all aggressive. They can't they aren't dealing with their emotions properly. And then must always be strong and not allowed to be weak. Well, what happens when you lose? You're weak. You failed at something. So they become hyper competitive. They must always be first. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard about the newest expression out there. Second place is first to last place. Is the newest masculine expression. That if you get second place, you're the first person in last place. Which means that there's only one place that matters for them. Number one, first place. And that's why they are hyper competitive. Because they must always be strong. And anti femininity? Well, that comes back to here, hyper competitiveness. What's the one thing all men can compete against? Females. All men can compete with females, even if it's not a fair competition. Because and they will do their best to stack the races, stack the fights, stack everything in their favor because of their hyper competitiveness, and that's what makes the so uh, anti femininity. And they're expected to be self sufficient because they must always be strong. A man must be self sufficient and not ask for help. A man must always be strong because asking for help is being weak. And you can't be weak or you're a failure. Now, we all have our traits that are toxic. I had to spend years learning empathy because of my autism. I was born without the ability to understand empathy. We got me a dog when I was a child. I learned how to be nice, kind, caring, empathic from that dog. It also means I become a wreck without a dog. Now, this one is very easy. I made it so that each one lines up. That was a bad line. An attribute and what it and how it can be expressed is the most easiest. Presence is a kind of you're grounded in who you are, a grounded stillness, which is kind of like you're connected to the earth, you're rooted, but you're still, you're not fighting to take the nutrients you need. You're just, you're there. You're not aggressive. You're not a showman. You're just there. Here's a big one that I'm sure all of you suffer and need to work on because I need to too. You give everyone your full attention when you are working on them or with them or talking with them. You don't talk with them while you're scrolling your phone, while looking at the next slide, while figuring out what you're going to say in reply before they even finish talking. A divine man does not begin formulating that response until after the conversation has finished in that sentence. Sorry, or their partner has finished their sentence. They're slower to respond, but everything they say just fits perfectly with what you're talking to them about. There's no jostling of, I need to be ready to answer the minute they finish talking. Because then you're not actually giving the person your full attention. The next attribute is protection. And this means, I put a big word here, boundaries. Oh, come on. Didn't do what I wanted to do. Boundaries. There's highlighter. There. You know your emotional and energetic boundaries, and you do not let people walk over them. But you're also flexible in that as long as they're not trying to go through your boundaries, you're perfectly fine with going and doing new things. And do you give other people the same courtesy that you expect? You do not break through their boundaries. Next one is direction, which is, as I put, purpose-led action. Now, that does not mean that your every movement is calculated to be perfectly efficient and accurate for whatever you're trying to do. That means you plan things out when you can. You act with thought, and you don't take actions that go contrary to the direction you are heading in. You figured out your direction in life and you're happy with it. You take it, you walk towards that path without running away. Next one is I put logic and clarity. Now, this does not mean you're a Vulcan, live long and prosper, or a droid. It means that when you make a decision, you do it with full emotional control and maturity. You don't do things in the heat of the moment. That is more divine feminine. You think things out through. You don't act out in emotional outbursts. You wait until your emotions are under control, then make a decision. This may give you the appearance of being a little slower to commit to things than others, but it also gives you that symbol that if you commit to something, you're doing it 110% away. That's the type of what this is that one's about. You know what you're getting into, and because you know what you're getting into, you can choose the direction easier and how to get there. Final attribute is sacred leadership. This is what I called being the father figure of the town. You hold the space for everyone. You're there to pick them up when they fall down. You guide them, but you have integrity. You don't try to take their choice from them. You're just there to help them pick up the pieces when or if it fails, and how to teach them how to be the best them they can be. You don't force anything on them. You're just there and you'll gladly help them to be in whatever way they want. This here is Scott, my stepdad, and probably one of the best people I can think of to say father figure in that way. He never gets angry at you. He may get annoyed with you, but he's always ready to back you up, help you out. He's always a safe person to be around when you need to thrive. No matter how annoyed with you, he is there. But he helps. And here's the thing, when you're living from aligned masculine energy or divine masculine, these are the four things that you'll notice. Others feel safe around you, and you feel safe to combine your masculine and feminine for them to be the infinite cycle they were created to be. And you feel inspired to act with clarity and help others act with clarity. You know your boundaries. He knows his boundaries. We all, and people want to follow you. And that's what I mean here. It's not that you just enables healthy boundaries and leadership. It's people want to follow you because you are a great leader. Everything about it is just nice. and it supports and you support your sacred work in this world. You follow your blueprint without even trying. Without even trying, you follow. Here's the next group. Anyone here fan of childhood characters? This is from an old cartoon called Lazy Town, if I can spell. I watched this as a kid, and this guy is the hero, Sporticus. Well, this guy is the villain named Robbie Rotten. The reason they're on this one is he lives in wounded divine energy. Well, this guy lives in the healthy divine energy or toxic divine and aligned, however you want to call it. I'm not the best at writing with a pen with and remote. When you're wounded, you're controlling. You're an authoritarian. This town in the let's use the cartoon as an example. This town, it's called Lazy Town. And guess what? Under his order, no one's allowed to go outside, have fun, do anything but be lazy. When this guy comes from being called, he brings to them the joy of playing outside. He's not controlling. He's centered, which means he knows himself. He's centered in his self-worth. And that allows him to go be like, "Hey, you want to do this? Sure, do it. But if you need help, I'm here to help teach you. I'll d- I'll teach you how to do push-ups if you want. Sure, I'm going to be doing a 10-mile run today. You do however much or little run you want to do. That is the difference between those two. Next is rigid, and that means you are not willing to change, period. You're like, why should I have to change? Well, why do you have to change? Right? I've been doing this, my family's been doing it this way for 600 years. So why should I have to accept something else? Whereas a healed, it's like, let's go to the topic that all of you like. Women's right to vote. Rigid are those who want to get rid of that because you didn't have it before the 1970s, I believe. Don't quote me on the exact year you got it. The rooted were those that were like, you know, they should have had this all along. I can understand them wanting it. I may not be the biggest fan of change, but yeah, here, you get this. I'll help you. Just don't expect me to change with you real fast. Now we have these two, dismissive and discerning. A dismissive, well, they dismiss any ideas that they don't like. The good one is, well, let's see. Hey, Mom, do you have a good dismissive argument on this case? You're muted.
So dismissive is kind of like my way or the highway. You're
There,
going to do it the way I think it should be done. There are no arguments that are going to change my mind. There are no ideas that are going to be something that I will consider. If it doesn't fit into my
narrow box.
work, it doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
hmm And well, discerning is more, I prefer to do it this way, but I will let you try this new way. I will see how it goes, and I will adjust myself based on that outcome. Just don't expect me to be not always the happiest with it, but I will try it at least once.
And see
Hey,
if
isn't
it
that
works
something?
better.
Yeah, isn't that something you tell all the kids, your kids? You have to try something once to know if you don't like it or not. Wouldn't
And
it like?
usually more than that.
Well, what? That's what we say to You say to kids though. You have to try something at least once.
Yep.
Now over to the second to last one: aggressive and protective. When you're aggressive, how is that different from being protective? Well, aggression is acting out because you're afraid. You want to others to feel your fear and be afraid of you because you don't want to be afraid. While protective is more like I don't I know I'm afraid, but I know that this person it will be hurt if I don't do something. I'm going to step between them and their dam and will hurt them. And the final one should be obvious to be able to see the difference between emotionally closed and present and steady. Emotionally closed. Now I suffer from being have suffered from being emotionally closed, which, and I will say, you don't need to be masters of all of these simultaneously or instantaneously. I was born without being able to understand when I'm feeling an emotion. I've learned cues for most emotions, but I do still come off as more emotionally closed than I would like. Whereas a fully healed person knows what they're feeling and knows how to control their emotions as they are feeling them. Now, that doesn't mean they ignore them. They feel their emotions and then let their emotions flow from them to source. So it's more they don't control their emotions, but they don't let their emotions control them. To do that, they have to know what they're feeling. Does that make sense? Oh, now it's time for my favorite metaphor about these two. Nice cup, right? Holds a good amount of water. What happens if you don't have water in it? Will it help? Will it do anything? No. But what if I take away the cup and all the water falls out? Is the water going to help hydrate me? No. It's just going to make a mess. Well, masculinity is this cup. The water inside, that's the femininity. And I'll remind you, you have both divine masculine and divine feminine, regardless of your gender. And masculinity is the stability to stick with something, while femininity is the gumption to try new things, to be creative. And no artist, no musician, no writer, no one who's ever been artistic ever succeeded on their first attempt. But that's all you would give it if you were purely in feminine energy. Because you kind of have squirrel energy in trying new things. And I'm sure you all have that friend who has like 30 hobbies that they abandon right after they tried them. They have too much divine feminine energy, not enough divine masculine. But someone with too much divine masculine and too much divine feminine, they find it hard to be creative. They'll find this one, usually manly hobby that they find that they're good at, and they'll just stick with it. It's something very structured, not a lot of they need to do. You need to both together, both ability and creativity to actually create something, purpose and play. And like I put here, only when both are honored do you have access to your true inner sovereignty. I mean, it's like this. If I have it like this, how easy is it to spread the hand apart? But when they're cooked, you can go full force and never break through because you have the same amount of strength in both halves. But if you have one hooked, doesn't really do much. That's why they need to be equally balanced. Dun 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 dun. And here's the checklist. Gulp. You're toxic? Well, that means you're selfish. You want mine, mine. I need to be. The first thing you need to learn about being a divine masculine, forget every freaking thing you're taught about being a man. You need to let go of the desire of being in control, rather than being in complete control over those around you. Help others without expecting anything in return, rather than being completely selfish. Remember that to take care of others, you need to take care of yourself, rather than bottle everything up. Get a freaking therapist, which is probably one some of you might disagree with. But I'm under the opinion that everyone event needs a therapist at least once in a while, or an emotional support person or animal. You need someone you can discuss your emotions with without being judged. That's the big part. Find someone you can talk about your emotions with without judgment. Otherwise, you'll take out your emotions on those around you, whether you want to or not, because you did not acknowledge your emotions. Now, here's a fun one I love. Find a relaxing hobby. Gentlemen, that does not mean you have to go and get a masculine hobby. You could crochet, you could knit, you can do something that actually freaking relaxes you. It does not need to be masculine. Ladies, I'm going to say the exact opposite to you. You can you can work out, you can drive sports cars, you can work on cars if that relaxes you. It's not about being in fem traditionally feminine or masculine. It's about doing something that relaxes you. And now it's time for your guys' homework because this one is a doozy and I'm going to repeat it multiple times. Work on yourself daily to be able to love the person you see in the mirror. Take a small step every day to look at the person you see in the mirror and be able to say, I love you. I know we've had hard times together, but I love you. And walk, do that I do that every night. I talk to myself in the mirror. I say, I love you. Because the other option is right here. You bury your stress as you fail to love yourself till you end up hurting those around you because how could you love them if you don't love yourself? Eventually, if you don't love yourself, you're going to act out in fear or anger because you're afraid. Now for the sixth rules. I made sure these were posted in your book because they are the most important rules you'll see and the hardest things you will ever do to connect to your masculine divine. You need to love yourself. And I don't mean that fake love where I don't mean sensual or anything, but you need to love the person you see in the mirror. Look at them and be able to say, I love you. The second one, you need to take care of yourself. You need to look at yourself and be able to say, yep, this body will last because I am care about myself enough to take care of myself. And then you need to connect. Find those around you. Find others. This will be your tribe that will help you connect with yourself. People you can trust to be yourself around. And number four, you need to trust your own judgment. Make decisions for yourself and trust them. Oh, look. Number five and six, we just talked about. Spend time feeling your own emotions and pick up a hobby that actually relaxes you. Not traditionally masculine or feminine hobby. One that actually works for you. And the best way to do number one is to go into the bathroom and tell yourself you love yourself until it becomes reality.
You know, we do have a mirror meditation that is available on YouTube, and I will put that into the chat.
And it will be sent in the
Yeah,
email tomorrow. Hey, look, it's someone
I'm
who we all know
sorry,
loves himself, is helpful, and loves those around them. And what, Mom?
nothing.
The Bob Ross. Look at the quote I chose from him. Didn't you know you had that much power? You can move mountains. You can do anything. You can do anything. This is why you want to live in the divine masculine. You're able to love yourself without difficulty. You can inspire others to help by helping them, and they pay it forward. Just one person doing this means 10 people help. Let's say you help 5 people a day, and they help 5 people a day. Well, look at the ri- uh, ripple effect. How much your 5 actions of kindness pay it forward. And when you feel good and are in your divine masculine, others around you feel it and feel good about themselves. And the last one is probably the most important to me. You inspire others to be the best versions of themselves without trying. You're not fighting them to act to be the best version of themselves. They just are because you are the best version of yourself. And it's inspiring to see someone who can do it. And they're like, I can do it too. And they step up and do it. That is what being in divine masculinity is all about. Now let's look at the other end. Joseph Stalin. Can anyone here think of anyone who's more a in toxic masculinity? No one trusts you, and you trust no one. You hate yourself, but you can't figure out why. So you take it out on others. You have no meaningful connections. You inspire fear in those around you. And as such, they conspire to either bring you down or leave. Those are the. And then here's what I call the 6 main traits of toxic masculinity. You are authority. You are dominance. You force control. You control through fear. You do not, and you suppress yourself. No crying. You have to stay strong. No feeling. You're aggressive. You can, you're reactive. You are not in control over yourself. You feel the need to be intimidating. You go, come on, what you got? Rather than, hey man, what's going on today? You are, and it brings others down to your level. You're not, you have authoritarianism. It's the my way or the highway. And you're that way because you're rigid. Because change means loss of control. And are afraid of being connected to others in any way of it, any form of intimacy, not just sexual, but the intimacy that a son and their mom has with their love, the intimacy of loving yourself, that any intimacy you're afraid of, and you need to win at all costs. If you're doing a co-op thing where two people can win, you'll betray the other person at the last moment because you need to be the winner. And two people can't be number one because it's called number one. Here are some cute little pictures of me. Mhm. This was when I was a kid before I had my veil. And this one, I'm in this one, I'm 15, and that cute little puppy, that's Poppy, my first empathy dog. That is 5 years after I was took 5 years after we officially started working on my spiritual gifts, and I created my veil. We didn't discover how to create. Mom didn't even discover what the problem was until I was 7. Now it's time for the final slide. Oh, let's clear that. This one, I'm 18, about ready to graduate high school and getting my Eagle Scout. One big thing I found, the biggest problem with the Eagle projects is not the projects themselves. It's reining in all the egos. All the people in toxic masculinity who need to be in control. But I persevered because I had promised I had a lot of help, both from my mom and my dad. My recently, but at that time, recently departed grandma. Remember, just because you can do something doesn't mean you need to do it alone. And the last picture is of me just a couple weeks ago on my 30th birthday, showing growth, planning for this. Now, any questions?
So why don't you take it off share, Sean, for the questions part?
Sounds good. How do I have to? There we go.
And if you have any questions, feel free to come off mute and speak
Yes,
freely.
please.
We do still have an experience to enjoy.
Yes, but I was hoping for a few more for a few questions at least.
Hey, Sean, I don't know if I have questions, but I just want to give you some compliments. Everything that you just taught us really, really resonates with me, and I am finding very helpful. So I gotta say an extra thank you for being here. You are so flippin' beyond amazing. I don't even know the words. And I am fairly certain there are other people besides me on this call that are really benefiting from your knowledge. So you are now our fearless leader. Thank you for that.
Um, Shannon says, how fortunate to have such a loving support system. Tanisha says, beautifully done and easy to understand.
Your examples that are rather visual were particularly helpful for me. I will definitely second that.
So what I'm going to do is move us into the experience. And this is the meditation that will be coming. Well, it's there, but it will be coming out formally tomorrow. It's meeting the divine masculine within, because the divine masculine is in every single one of us. And it is as much in us as, even though all of us that are here are female, we have as much divine masculine. Men have it also, but we need that container to hold our divine feminine to be complete beings. Same as we are light and dark, we are a combination of divine masculine and divine feminine. The body that we have chosen for this life does not determine which is in greater control. So I'm going to take over the share, and I am going to use the meditation because it is a completed meditation with music and everything. I read it to you, it's going to just be me speaking, and you won't have a complete experience. I do invite you to touch your heart and to allow yourself to go fully into this experience. I'm going to share the sound and optimize for video. Go in here. I do want to verify from everybody that you are seeing my screen. And Sean,
Yeah.
you are seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin.
Welcome, beautiful soul. This is a guided meditation for meeting the divine masculine within you, for finding grounded strength and sacred alignment. Please find a comfortable seat or lie down gently, allowing your body to be fully supported. Close your eyes and take a long, deep breath in through the nose And exhale slowly through the mouth. Again, a long, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale slowly through the mouth. Let yourself arrive. With each breath, feel the weight of the day releasing. Let your thoughts soften, your shoulders drop. Let yourself come home, home to your body, home to your breath, and home to this sacred moment. Now bring your awareness to the base of your spine. Imagine roots extending down from your tailbone and feet, growing deep into the earth. Feel these roots reaching through soil, stone, and time itself, deeper and deeper until they anchor in the core of the earth. Give a light tug, securing the connection. From this core, the earth gives up a warm, stabilizing, grounded energy, solid, unwavering, and safe. Let it travel up your roots and into your body. Feel it enter through your feet, moving up your legs, arriving, going through your hips. Feel its warmth in your belly. Feel this grounded energy rising into your heart, filling your shoulders and moving down your arms. Bask in this safety as your whole body is held by the presence of the earth. Know you are safe. You are supported. You are grounded in something special, ancient, and wise. Now, with your next breath, invite in the presence of the Divine Masculine, not as an outside force, but as an ancient intelligence that lives within your soul and your body. This is not forceful or aggressive. It does not demand or dominate. Divine Masculine is the energy of sacred clarity overlaid with love, sacred structure, protector, provider, truth teller, guide, authentic. It is the container that holds without control. It is structure that liberates, boundaries that protect, action that serves the highest good. He is the protector, the provider, the sacred witness who sees with clear eyes and speaks with unwavering truth. He is the builder, the beacon, the anchor in chaos. He does not rush. He is timeless and present, all at once. Now imagine this energy arriving as a golden light, descending gently from the space above your crown. It enters softly, pure, warm, and luminous. This golden stream flows into the top of your head, washing down the back of your neck, slipping into the length of your spine. You may feel warmth or stillness, or the sensation of something ancient stirring awake. This is the energy that builds temples of devotion, that transforms chaos into coherence, that turns a whisper of insight into a lifetime of action. This is the masculine as sacred structure. Not rigid, but rooted. Not cold, but clear. Not overpowering. Deeply present. Allow this light to flow through your entire being now. Let it move down your arms and into your hands. Out, circling you in your aura. Let it move down through your ribs, your belly, your hips and legs. Feel it settle into the earth, anchoring you in sacred strength. And as it settles, notice this truth. This presence is not here to fix you, not here to correct. It is here to walk beside you, to stand in union with all that you are becoming. This is a sacred inner ally. Your source of clear sight, stable footing, and purposeful action. Allow it to take up space inside of you. Let it show you what it means to be both strong and still, both clear and compassionate, both protected, protector, and free. You don't have to reach for him. No matter your gender, he is already within you. Now, allow your imagination to place you entering a sacred space. A place that feels ancient, powerful, and alive with presence. You may feel it. You may see it. You may simply sense it. However, you know you are there. It may be a towering forest with sunbeams filtering through the canopy, a windswept mountaintop above the clouds, a candlelit hall made of stone and crystal, echoing with the memory of chants and silence. No matter how you are aware, let it reveal itself to you softly, naturally. An experience just for you. There is no wrong place. Your soul knows exactly where to go. Let the environment rise around you, holding you like a temple made just for this meeting. Feel the atmosphere shift as you arrive. Now, from the distance, you sense movement. A presence begins to draw near. The air changes. It becomes denser, more charged. And then you become aware of him. The vibration, the energy is strong. Your inner divine masculine. He approaches without rush. There is no urgency, only power wrapped in presence. Take a moment to witness him. What does he look like? He may appear as a figure cloaked in robes, a warrior with sacred markings, a radiant being made of light, or someone you recognize from your own journey. He may carry a staff, a sword, a flame in his palm, or nothing at all. What does he feel like? Does he feel ancient, timeless, fierce, gentle, steady? He comes with no judgment, no pressure. He comes to remind you of what has always lived inside of you. He stops before you, close but not intrusive. You are aware that he is there, and in the stillness between you, a frequency begins to hum. You may feel it in your chest, in your spine, in the soles of your feet. A deep knowing, an awakening. He does not speak in words, but his presence says, I see you. I have always been here. I will hold you. I will protect your vision. I will walk beside you, not in front, not behind, always with you. You may now choose to speak to him, aloud or silently, heart to heart, soul to soul. You might ask, where have you been in my life when I needed you most? What part of me are you here to steady, to strengthen, to awaken? What do I need to trust you more deeply? How can I feel your presence when I am feeling afraid, unclear, or alone. Wait for what comes, not with expectation, but with openness. You may feel words, see visions, experience emotions. Be aware of memories, or simply a deep, healing stillness. Whatever rises is perfect. Whatever doesn't rise is also perfect. Let the experience unfold in its own rhythm. Know this. This is not simply your imagination. This is remembrance. You are not meeting something new. You are reconnecting with the part of you that knows how to hold the line, that knows how to speak the truth, and will stand tall even when the winds of life howl the loudest and the strongest. This is your sacred divine masculine coming home and meeting you exactly where you are. Now, when you are ready, invite this presence to merge with you. Never to overpower, but to integrate. Feel this steadiness enter your spine. His clarity fill your mind. His courage open your chest. And his discernment steady your breath. Let him fill the places in you that have been uncertain, overgiving, or afraid. He has always been there. Now you are connected and aware. You do not need to be rigid to be strong. You do not need to push to protect. His strength is based in love, in gentleness, and it is always with you. You only need to remember you carry this sacred structure inside of you. It has been with you all along. The divine masculine is a part of every single one of us. Let it settle in. Let it become you. Begin to bring your awareness gently back to your breath. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Feel your chest rise and fall. Bring your attention to the ground beneath you. Feel how grounded and safe you are. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. You carry your divine masculine with you now, not outside, but within. The sword of truth, the shield of love, the stillness of sacred presence. And as you move forward in your life, know this: you are held, you are guided, you are protected by your own inner divine masculine. Thank you for journeying with me today. If this meditation helps you reconnect with your inner strength, your clarity, and your sacred structure, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who may also be ready to awaken their divine masculine energy. And if you'd like more meditations and spiritual support for your path, visit us at soulenhancements.com or explore the free resources listed below. You are not alone. May you walk forward with purpose. May your strength be rooted in love. And may your divine masculine continue to rise in harmony with your soul. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Welcome back.
Welcome back. How are you feeling? And you can message me or you can speak.
1000% amazing. I'll give a little detail if it's okay. I got a pretty good visual. I went to a place like it was a castle, but it was made of marble. I was the princess. I had all the jewels on. I had my crown on, and my beautiful prince showed up with long, flowing blonde hair and basically said what you were saying, like, I'm here, I've been here. If you want to connect with me, just reach your hand out. I'll hold your hand and walk this path with you. Um, all like really, really beautiful things. And then I experienced the physical warmth too, like especially in my face and like solar plexus. I'm not sure what that's about, but it was there. Um, Really incredible journey, really incredible meditation. I didn't expect it to go quite that amazingly, but it did. So thank you, Deirdre and Sean.
Wonderful.
That is great to hear.
Anyone else have anything to share on it?
I think Lori fell asleep.
I think so, and that is perfectly fine.
Mhm.
Guided meditations do that to people, and the amazing and wonderful thing is even if you fall asleep during a guided meditation, it still has the effect of working on you through your subconscious. So you don't lose. You will get and I think you got the link to that meditation in the same email that you got the link to come here today. So in today's email. Lori says that was beautiful. I didn't want it to end. I felt a shift within me I haven't felt before. It came from allowing the masculine divine in. I love that, Lori. I am absolutely happy to hear that. Lori, please go ahead and make sure you've signed in and given me your email here. Because we will be sending out a little extra something to everybody who was here in person. So make sure that I have, because just being Lori, I'm not sure who you are. And I want to make sure that everybody who is here in person gets a little something from us as a thank you. We appreciate you. I do want to take a moment to let everybody here know that we do have a new confident psychic that is coming up in the beginning of August, the 5th to the 8th. That will run from 3 to 5 Pacific time also. We will be sending out invitations. The Confident Psychic is always complimentary, never charged for. And this time it will be the Clarity Edition. So it will not simply be a repeat of what you got last time. This time we will be diving really deep into the chakras, into the aura, and into shielding and your energy. So it will be a much deeper dive, looking at a smaller segment. So, and then on the last day, it will be 8/8. So Sean and I, everybody who has signed up and shown up, we will be doing Q&A and readings for those who are there present. Because what do you do on a portal day? But
Close portals.
the gift of mini readings. It is something that we are really, really excited to offer to people. There is nothing more fun than connecting with you guys. I will be doing the bulk of it, and I think Sean, if he's willing, will be taking a larger role in it. There are parts of it that I think he'd be really, really good for.
We will see.
And the other thing I want to let you guys know, I have a brand new program I'm launching. And it is the Oracle Path. You know, some of you have worked with me one-on-one. And I have wanted to start a group program for a long time. And for any of you who have considered working with me and would like to do so, one, I offer everybody a spiritual assessment, which is absolutely free. And it is something that I do just because I love you and as a way for us to connect and for you to connect with me, learn who I am so I can connect with you, learn who you are. And anybody who is considering working with me needs to do this because it's important for you to know that I am someone you connect with before you even consider working with me. But if you are considering it, I am so excited about the Oracle Path. It is being offered at a very reduced price since it's the very first time that I'm offering it. It's the premiere edition. And if you are interested, go ahead and DM me, and I will be more than excited to send out links and to give you more information. I will be talking about it a whole lot more. It will be starting August 21st. So there is a whole lot happening. Suzanne, who you see here, is coming into my group on the 24th to tell you guys all about her yoga. And we would really appreciate as many people who are available to come in and join us next Thursday at 4 o'clock to spend some time with Suzanne and hear what she has to say. I know we are a little bit early. We told you we were going to keep you till 5. We're going to give you the gift back of those 20 minutes, unless there's anybody who has anything more that they would like from us today.
Yes. Please, if you have any questions or anything you want us to expand upon, we are more than willing to do so.
Thank you. I do actually have a question. And Sean, it was a beautiful presentation. I really learned a lot tonight. And Deirdre, thank you for the wonderful, amazing meditation. It was awesome too. Sean, when you asked about if there was a question for your presentation, it really made me think your presentation about the generations of masculine and men, especially like, my grandfather and then my father and my husband and the generation of men today, like my son-in-law, for example, being so much more in tune with their feminine masculinity. And I didn't quite understand uh, all of that until you did that presentation today. So my question is, what has happened for that transformation to take place, do you think? Like what's happening with the
The
spiritual world to make that transition?
hilariously, it's an right now men have too much feminine energy because everyone spiritual is focused on the divine feminine. It's getting all this strength because everyone's pouring everything into the divine feminine. So, and the feminine keeps growing stronger and stronger, and it being stronger affects everyone below it. And right now, toxic and divine masculine are like this, teetering between each other. Well, here, like this. Divine feminine is the straw. Is that sustainable?
So it's kind of like the riverbanks, or if you move out of the cup analogy and move to a river analogy,
That might be better, yeah.
the divine feminine is the river, the masculine is the riverbank, right? But when you're dealing with men, we have been pushing men to get more into their feminine. And while men have that feminine into them, men are not being taught that there is a divine masculine. So men are moving more into their feminine gifts, but we are losing that sacred container, that protector, that really strong, sacred man. And it is a bit problematic. So we really need to start teaching on a much broader scale about the fact that it's not only divine feminine, there is also divine masculine, and that there are traits that men can look at yes, they want their creativity to flow. They want to be able to love and that those are part of divine masculinity as well. Does that help?
Yes, it does. It makes it more clear. But I was kind of also wondering more about, is this like a spiritual movement? Is this something that's happening in the stars and the spiritual realm, or
This
are
is
you
a
talk are you talking about like the educational system? I guess I'm not real sure I understand
well,
where the movement is coming from.
spiritually, you, you've been if have you ever heard before about the divine masculine before this?
Well, very little. It is mostly divine feminine. I totally
S-
agree.
And that's the thing. It's a combination of the divine feminine being pushed by, well, hilariously, those who don't understand it.
I think so many of the people that are in the spiritual movement at this point in time are female.
Mhm.
And so many of them are women that have been hurt by men, unfortunately. So there is a real push to soften the men without really enough knowledge and learning to understand that what they want is not men who are more like women, but men who are more like the ideal of men. And there is a strong balance needed to embrace. And so many of us as women have embraced our masculinity to survive in this culture. And we have learned a toxic masculine way of being. We don't even know how to get into this divine masculine energy. We have been taught this aggression, this take care of yourself at all odds, this be in control, this win mentality, especially if we've ever been in business, if we've ever been in a position where we need. So, is it coming from the stars? It must be because it's coming into our attention. And Sean and I get most of what we get downloaded to us. So, is it coming from the spiritual realm? Most likely. But is it also an education thing? Yes. Are they front and back of the hand? I think probably.
Thank you for that wonderful explanation.
Thank you for explaining that, Deidre, because I was getting very confused being a person who has lived in that masculine energy and trying to bring in the divine feminine. I was like, why am I here? And
Yeah,
I know I'm here because I'm supposed to learn about the divine masculinity to help counteract the the masculine industry and way of life that I had lived.
mm-hmm.
And hilariously counteracted the divine's femininities trying to take over the masculine, toxic
Well,
masculinity.
it's actually a toxic femininity that is trying to outsource and out to get rid of masculine,
It's
divine
toxic to
masculine.
masculinity.
It's a
Yeah.
toxic femininity that is trying to displace masculinity as opposed to bring in this divine aspect because we
Yes.
need that. One is not complete without the other.
Yeah.
The
Thank you
big
for that
thing
clarity.
is masculine. Originally, men or divine masculinity was the protector. They're not they weren't healers. They were the one that you went to after you made a mistake healing.
Hmm.
Think about it. They were the ones you went to when things were going badly, when love wasn't enough, when you needed to eat. That's what they were for.
It's an interesting, in our world where the masculine and feminine have gotten so confused, and we are dealing with so much of the toxicity in both. I see so much of it. When I read posts and I look at things, I see so much of the toxic on both sides. And I usually just keep quiet because there's no point. And I try to teach.
I was going to say, you didn't keep quiet. You made a meditation out about it and you put it out there to the public on YouTube. So good
Well,
for
That
you.
doesn't mean that anyone pays attention to it.
Oh, they do because we're here listening and we love it. So we are learning.
when I say I keep quiet, I mean if I see a post of someone who is in the opposite side, I don't say something that is going
Right.
to,
I understand what you're saying.
yeah, there's no point in arguing it. How there is a big point in bringing in the education, in letting people become aware. And those that are interested will learn and they will pass it on. So for every person that takes it in and learns, they take it out. And a little bit more grows and our world becomes a little bit better because energy expands on itself. And it is an amazing way to create a better world. So, anybody else? I'm so glad Raphael made it. We didn't get to see his face, but I'm glad he got in. He missed Sean's part. He'll see it in the replay, I hope. So if we are complete, I will let Sean close.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Mom, what do you mean you're letting me close? You're the one who created this Zoom.
Oh, I was just going to let you say goodbye.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Okay. Everyone, have an amazing day. Remember, take some time every day. Go into your bathroom or wherever you want with a mirror and say you love yourself. Say, I love you to your mirror, to your reflection in the mirror. You cannot be fully in your divine masculine or even your divine feminine when you can't love yourself. To be in your divine masculine means you have that quiet self confidence that you only get when you love yourself. Namaste.
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 Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you.
Namaste. Thank you.